If you acquire a reputation as a mad dog, you'll be treated as a mad dog.
Hey Game of Thrones fans, Confire Nate back from vacation. Glad to be back and ready to talk about Game of Thrones. Now, we just had a great episode, Battle of the Bastards, but one thing that I can't help from reading is a lot of people are really upset with this episode. And the reason behind it is they feel like Game of Thrones has gotten soft. So that's what I'm here to talk about, is ask the question, has Game of Thrones gotten soft? Now you might say, well, what are you talking about? This season has been layered with people dying. I mean, every episode pretty much has had somebody die.
He died, fighting my lord.
Pause the video. Why couldn't we get one wanted weapon? A shield, a spear, an arrow? Something. Unpause.
Yeah, I get that. But other than, you know, Hodor dying.
Hold the door! Hold the door! Hold the door!
Pretty much everybody else has been just secondary characters kind of tying up loose ends, if you will. So I think the big thing that most people have been upset about is the fact that the battle itself kind of centered around the fact that it made it seem like Jon was going to die. And for even the most casual watcher, you can't feel like Jon's going to die. I mean, we all realize Jon Arryn's already come back from the dead once. Is it possible that the only purpose was to bring him back was for this battle? No, we all know the real reason that he's back is to fight White Walkers. So why in the world did they go about it trying to make us feel like that was the problem? And I think that's where they messed up. And I'm going to talk about what I think would have maybe made it a little bit better. One, instead of making it come across like Jon Snow was the one who could die, they put him in some tough situations. They could have maybe focused more around maybe Davos or Tormen, because both of those people, I mean, both of those characters, you had to think, oh crap, maybe one of them will die. And we love Davos and we love Tormen, so it kind of feels like they did change it a little bit there towards the end. You kind of saw like Tormen really getting into a big fight with the Umber guy, and you thought, oh crap, is Tormen going to die? But that was the only moment in the entire thing that you started to worry that maybe somebody you care about was going to die. Now, we realized that in Davos' situation, he showed up kind of late, so you really weren't worried so much about Davos. So I think if they would have taken it and maybe put it more around Davos and Tormen maybe being the ones who die instead of Jon, then maybe people would, you know, not have so many things to complain about. Me personally, I thought it was good. I liked the action. I enjoyed it a lot. The thing that bothers me the most is just the fact that, you know, Sansa didn't tell Jon about the Knights of the Vale, which I think was kind of frustrating, because if they would have known that, the whole battle might have changed. But that brings up another thing, is that maybe, because everyone is dissing on Sansa, what the heck's wrong with you, Sansa? Why were you doing this? Why did you do this? Maybe Sansa is actually a little bit more cunning than we think. And here it is. Do you think it's possible that maybe Sansa is also gotten to a point where she's becoming like the female Littlefinger? Like her goal is to win it, to win the whole thing, the Game of Thrones. Whereas Jon's just, he's more focused on trying to make it to there so that they can worry about White Walkers. I don't really feel like Sansa's really worried about White Walkers or anything to do with that. So maybe it is that Sansa does actually have some ulterior motive and is willing to sacrifice Jon, and that's the way it came across. Now, if this is the case, then that makes Sansa kind of a bad person. So we're not really sure if they're going to explain that. I feel like the next week's episode, they're probably going to explain that a little bit more. And at the same time, we're probably going to wind up seeing some more high stakes, maybe even some people that are a little bit more important die. So it should make us feel a little bit better about the things that we had issues with this particular episode. But at the same time, my biggest complaint was just I felt like they should have centered the possibility of someone dying more around Davos and Tormen, or some other characters, and not so much Jon. Because at this point, guys, come on, we know Jon's not going to die. Even the most casual watcher would have been like, They already brought that guy back once, right? They're not going to kill him again. So, with that being said, those are probably the only two things I had issue with. But overall, I love the episode. I was really excited about it. But that's the question I want to ask you. Two things. One, do you think if they would have centered around someone other than Jon, if maybe you would have felt that high stakes there, maybe feel like more like what we're used to at the beginning of Game of Thrones, you know, when it first started, where you kind of was like, oh, I'm really rooting for this character, and then they die. Would this kind of been the thing? Would that kind of made you feel a little bit more? And then at the same time, what is Sansa doing? Do you think Sansa really that cunning, or is she just being stupid? Do you think they're going to explain that next week? Either way, those are the things that I thought about this week's episode. But let me know what you think. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you like our channel, please subscribe to our channel. We'd love to see that. We got all kinds of more videos coming soon. So other than that, let me know what you think. Until next time, see you later.